Welcome to our podcast.
Hello, my dear friend. I'm really glad you found your way here tonight. Before we begin, I hope you've already put the day behind you. The messages can wait. The unfinished work can wait. Even tomorrow can wait. For the next little while, this time belongs to you, so find a comfortable place. Let your shoulders relax. Take one slow breath. And if your heart feels a little heavier than usual, you're exactly where you need to be. Tonight, I want to ask you something. Have you ever felt like everyone else received a map? Except you? As if people around you know where they're going. They have plans, dreams, goals, confidence, and somehow, you're just trying to make it through another day. If that sounds familiar, please stay with me. Because I don't think you're lost in the way you believe. I think you've simply been measuring your journey with someone else's compass. And that almost always leads us in the wrong direction. There is something strange about feeling lost. It doesn't always happen when life falls apart. Sometimes it happens when everything looks perfectly normal. You wake up. You do what you're supposed to do. You smile when people expect you to smile. You answer questions with, "I'm fine." You finish another day, then, when everything becomes quiet, a question appears. Is this really my life? Not because your life is terrible, but because your heart quietly wonders if it was made for something more. That question can be frightening. Many people spend years trying to silence it. They stay busy, they scroll a little longer, they work a little harder. They fill every empty moment with noise. Not because they're happy, because silence asks questions they don't feel ready to answer. Maybe that's why you're here tonight. Not to escape your thoughts, but to finally sit beside them. Without fear, without judgment, without rushing. Can I tell you something that nobody told me? Feeling lost is not proof that you're failing. Sometimes, it's proof that you've outgrown the life you've been living. Imagine wearing shoes that fit perfectly when you were younger. Year after year, you keep wearing the same pair. Eventually, they begin to hurt. Not because the shoes became worse, because you grew. Life works the same way. Sometimes the habits that once helped you no longer fit. The dreams you borrowed from other people no longer feel like yours. The version of yourself that made everyone comfortable no longer makes you happy. Growth can feel very uncomfortable. Not because something is wrong, because something is changing. People often say, "Find yourself." I've never liked that advice. It sounds as if the real you is hiding somewhere in a forest, waiting to be discovered. I don't think that's how life works. I don't think you find yourself. I think you create yourself. Little by little, kindness by kindness, you become the person you repeatedly choose to be. That means something beautiful. If you're feeling lost today, your story isn't over. You're still writing it. Have you ever noticed how a river never argues with its path? When it meets a rock, it doesn't quit. It doesn't complain. It simply keeps moving, sometimes with incredible strength. The river never mistakes a delay for the end of the journey. Maybe we should learn from that. Just because life asked you to slow down doesn't mean life has forgotten you. Some seasons are meant for running. Others are meant for becoming. One of the biggest reasons we feel lost is because we believe everyone else is moving faster. We compare our beginning to someone else's middle. We compare our quiet mornings to someone else's highlight reel. And then we wonder why our confidence disappears. Comparison is a game with no finish line. No matter how far you go, someone will always seem happier. Someone will always seem more successful. If your happiness depends on being ahead of everyone else, peace will always stay just out of reach. Perhaps life was never asking you to win the race. Perhaps it was asking you to enjoy the road. There is another reason people feel lost. They spend years becoming who everyone expected them to be. Until one day, they forget what they actually wanted. They become successful, but not fulfilled, busy, but not alive, surrounded by people, yet quietly lonely. The hardest prison isn't made of walls. It's made of expectations, especially the ones you never questioned. Maybe the question isn't, what should I do with my life? Maybe the better question is, what feels true to my heart? Those two questions don't always have the same answer. Here's something I wish someone had whispered to me years ago. You don't have to figure out your entire life tonight. You only need to figure out your next honest step. The horizon always looks impossibly far away, but nobody reaches the horizon in one step. They simply keep walking, one quiet step. Perhaps that's all life has ever asked of us. Not certainty, just honesty, not perfection, just movement. So if you're lying here tonight, wondering whether you're behind, whether you've wasted too much time, whether it's already too late, I hope you'll keep listening, because sometimes the people who feel the most lost are the very ones standing closest to discovering who they truly are. And maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of your story. Maybe it's the first page you finally decided to read. Sometimes we believe that being lost means we've taken the wrong road. But what if being lost is simply life asking us to stop walking on autopilot? Think about how many things you do every day without even noticing. You wake up, you check your phone, you rush through your morning, you answer questions, you finish tasks, you finally lie down at night. Then you do it all again. Days quietly become weeks, weeks become years. And somewhere in the middle of that routine, you forget to ask yourself one simple question. Am I living? Or am I only repeating? There is a difference. A very quiet difference. One fills your calendar. The other fills your soul. I think many people aren't searching for success. They're searching for permission. Permission to slow down. Permission to change. Permission to disappoint people. Permission to choose a different path. Permission to become someone they haven't been before. Maybe you've been waiting for someone to tell you, it's okay. So let me be that voice tonight. It's okay to start over. It's okay to outgrow old dreams. It's okay if the life you wanted 5 years ago no longer feels right. That doesn't make you inconsistent. It makes you alive. Growing people change. Only statues stay the same. Have you ever noticed how nature never rushes? A flower doesn't bloom because another flower already did. It blooms when it's ready. The rain never apologizes for arriving late. The moon never feels guilty because it isn't the sun. Everything in nature trusts its own timing, somehow. We are the only ones constantly checking the clock. Maybe your life isn't late. Maybe it's simply unfolding in a way you cannot understand yet. The hardest part about the future is that it refuses to explain itself in advance. Only when you look back do the pieces begin to fit together. Imagine reading only the first chapter of a book and becoming angry because you don't understand the ending. That would sound ridiculous. Yet we do it to ourselves all the time. We expect clarity before experience. We expect confidence before action. We expect certainty before taking the first step. Life gently smiles and says, walk first. The answers will catch up. One day, you may realize something surprising. The moments that changed your life were rarely the loud ones. Not the biggest celebration. Not the perfect opportunity. Not the day everything finally made sense. Instead, it was a quiet evening, a simple conversation, a single sentence that refused to leave your heart. Real transformation usually arrives quietly. It doesn't knock loudly. It whispers, almost so softly that you could miss it. Maybe that's why you're here tonight. Maybe one sentence from this conversation will stay with you long after the video ends. And perhaps that's enough. Can I tell you something I've learned? Your purpose is not hiding from you. It isn't playing a game. Most of the time, purpose grows while you're paying attention to ordinary things. Helping someone, learning something new, taking care of yourself, being present, listening instead of rushing. We often imagine purpose as one enormous moment. But maybe purpose is simply the way you choose to live today. Tomorrow builds itself from today's small decisions, not from tomorrow's perfect plan. Sometimes we think we're searching for the meaning of life, but maybe life has been quietly searching for our attention. It waits in ordinary moments. The sound of rain against a window, the comfort of your favorite blanket, the peaceful silence after a long day, the feeling of breathing deeply without rushing anywhere. These moments seem small, yet one day you'll realize they were your life. Not the vacations, not the achievements, not the milestones, the ordinary evenings, the gentle mornings, the quiet conversations. Those were the treasures all along. If you're feeling lost tonight, please don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary feeling. Feelings are visitors. Some stay for an hour, some stay for a season. None of them stay forever. Your life is much bigger than this moment. Your story is much longer than this chapter. And chapters, by their very nature, eventually end. And before we say goodnight, I'd like to leave you with one small thought. Imagine meeting yourself 10 years from now. Not the richest version, not the most successful version, just the wisest one. I don't think that person would ask, "Why didn't you become perfect?" I think they'd smile, sit beside you, and quietly say, "Thank you for not giving up on us." Sometimes surviving is the bravest thing you'll ever do. Sometimes resting is the most productive thing you'll do all week. Sometimes choosing hope, even when you can't see the whole picture, is the strongest decision you'll ever make. So tonight, if your heart feels lost, don't rush to find the entire map. Just find enough light for the next step. That's all life has ever asked. One honest step, one kind decision, one peaceful night, then another and another, until one ordinary morning, you wake up and realize something incredible. You are no longer looking for your life. You are living it. Thank you for spending these quiet moments with me tonight. From the bottom of my heart, I hope this conversation made you feel a little less alone. I hope it reminded you that it's okay not to have everything figured out. It's okay to grow slowly. It's okay to pause. It's okay to begin again. And most importantly, it's okay to believe that your best days are still waiting for you. Now, let the weight of today become lighter. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your breathing become softer. Close your eyes knowing that you don't have to solve your whole life tonight. The answers can wait. Tomorrow can wait, right now. Your only job is to rest. Sleep peacefully, my friend. Be gentle with your heart, trust your journey, even when you cannot see where it leads. Because some of the most beautiful destinations are only discovered by people who had the courage to keep walking, even when they felt lost. Good night. I'll be here for you in our next quiet conversation.